independence.
Yeah. And what's your message to? Have you seen Donald Trump? Do you think he should step in?
Donald Trump don't trust China. China is asshole.
Run. All right, John is back. John is back. John is back. John is back. Back. He is. That was the worst smile ever, man. Okay, hold on. Just wanted to set one more thing. So CPAC
Good to be back in the office.
begins. Test. All right, cool. Our snowball is done.
Is this working?
Yeah, it works. All right, so CPAC begins this weekend, right? It starts on Thursday. It's actually sold out, which is kind of crazy.
I think it's a sign of the times, no?
It's very interesting. A poll came out, I think it's from NBC, where it shows that blue collar workers are now identifying more with the GOP, which is very interesting.
Right.
I wonder why that's happening. Well, you know what it was? I'm going to answer this question. I'm going to just throw the pitch and hit the ball myself. They're doing it because the poll also showed that Trump was the reason these blue collar workers joined the GOP, or people who've never done that before joined the GOP.
How do you feel about Trump, how he appealed to the working class, like to the everyday man, him being like himself, obviously very wealthy, being a billionaire? How does somebody like that get in the ear of all of the blue collar working class? I mean, he obviously, the majority of the country is, I would say, like maybe 70% of the country is blue collar.
Blue collar?
Yeah. What is the mix of blue collar and?
Before we continue really quick, don't forget to like, subscribe. We are actually on Apple Podcasts now. Google
We're
Podcasts.
on Apple Podcasts. Yay!
So we'll be uploading those often.
I can't believe they let us on there.
I'm surprised too. I just don't think anybody has listened to it yet.
I think our 12 followers must have like bombarded them with emails.
Why?
Like let my people on. 9% of gray collar worker. What is a gray collar?
Well, that's a new term. I don't know. All right, here we
Oh,
go.
like a mixture.
Somewhere in between. Would I technically be a gray collar worker?
Yeah, you technically would.
Because I'm in the office, but I'm also doing.
We're also in the warehouse. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're all gray collar.
Cool. Okay, here we go. 81% white collar. Wait, what kind of percentages are these?
80% blue collar. What the?
What is the pie here? What is the pie?
What kind of mathematics is this?
Well, anyways, you know what? But it's interesting that you would say that. Why is it that he appeals to blue collar workers, right? I think Trump has like an obsession with blue collar workers. Like, you know how people have not people anymore, but when you're back in the day, kids were growing up, they'd like the cowboys, right? And you grow up and, you know, as an adult, you can really appreciate the work of an actual cowboy, not those shooting, gun tooting, but an actual cowboy who was rustling, is that the word?
Sure.
You know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Cattle, yeah, you know, and the whole idea of the West and miners, and it's just like, it's something nostalgic and very cool about that, right? I think Trump may have that same nostalgia with American blue collar workers, construction guys, right?
You think it has to do with him being like so big in real estate and obviously all the buildings that he's built around the country, and having that relationship with like construction? I'm sure he's dealt with a lot of the unions, a lot of the mobsters.
I think he's seen
So
that.
he's already. There's something to be said about a man who is successful outside of like politics, outside of academia, because, you know, theoretically you can talk a good game and say whatever you want and, you know, pontificate about certain subjects or theories that you think are more applicable, but until you actually go out there and apply them, it's just a bunch of BS.
Yeah.
So Trump has that. He has that experience, like that real world experience, not like, yeah, I went to Delaware State University.
What's that university that they all come from?
Harvard.
It's an Ivy League school, not Harvard.
Harvard.
Is it Harvard?
Yale.
Yale's the one that
Yale,
they all
Harvard,
come from.
Princeton.
Yeah.
UPenn.
Yeah.
My sister went to UPenn.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Shout out to your sister going to UPenn.
Although she graduated already, but yeah. Big shout out. She's a smart one in the family.
But
She's doctor. I have to call her doctor sister now.
Doctor sister?
I have to call her doctor sister now. Very awkward.
Going back to what you were saying though.
No, I think because he's actually done it in real life, been successful, running businesses, building, companies, and doing it himself, right? Not just becoming like a career politician like these other guys,
Right.
like former vice president Joe Biden.
Yeah. Well, what happens?
I mean,
what happens? What do you think happens when you become a politician? What happens to the
Look,
mind?
there's two things.
Is it? Sure. Go ahead. What's number one?
I don't know. I've heard some funny things said about politicians, that prostitutes and politicians are pretty much the same thing, except
Go on.
prostitutes are gone as soon as you pay them. Politicians stick around for 4 to 7 years. So,
Okay. Explain. Can you elaborate on that? I'm not really sure.
well, I mean, they're all in the business of making money, right?
Sure.
And when you see these career politicians who on paper, they have these salaries that are barely what like a school teacher makes, but then after 10 years of their civic duties, all of a sudden they're all millionaires and
Right.
you know,
They go into the
they're
system. A
incredibly
normal Joe.
financially wealthy, independently wealthy now, although their entire career they've been a public servant.
Right.
So that's like if you go, graduate law school, you go work at the DA's office for 10 years, but you're driving, Rolls Royce or something, you live up in Beverly Hills. Something shady about that. On an $80,000 a year salary in LA,
Right.
I don't think so. You're probably living in a studio apartment.
So you're saying that? Do you think most politicians go in well intentioned?
I think it's like police officers. I think most police officers go in very well intentioned. They go in for all the right reasons. Like when you're a kid and you want to be a policeman or a firefighter, you want to just help people. But then I think they see so much, not just negative, like you see corruption at every level. And I think the higher up you go, the grander that corruption is. And then all of a sudden, it's like you're either going to be part of this system or you're not going to fit in. You're going to be the square peg
Yeah.
that they're going to try to shove in a round hole, right? So people just, they shave off their edges just so they can fit in. And then next thing you know, you're already sold your soul. Like you're in all the way at this point because there's no going back. Once you do a favor for one,
You essentially get jumped in.
kind of.
And
It's better almost in the gangs because you can get jumped in and jumped out. In politics, you get jumped in, you get murdered, getting kicked out.
Yeah.
They make sure when you leave, that either your reputation is sullied to where no one will ever, there's no way of coming back, or they'll let you ride off into the sunset as long as you drank the Kool-Aid and you did, you followed the plan.
It's interesting.
T.
It's interesting because, growing up as an adult. I mean, growing up as a kid, you look at adults, you look at people in positions of powers, you look
Yeah.
at senators and I guess not senators, but
You just see politicians, like even your local mayor or your
yeah, it's like wow, these are real adults, right?
doing adult things.
Doing adult stuff, and it's just so like wow, it's very admirable, right? But then you realize you grow up and they're just a bunch of idiots, all these people, the whole bunches of them.
Some of them,
I would say
a majority of them.
they're children. They're
They're just
petty.
They're just a bunch of grown children.
They're petty.
yeah.
They're petty.
Not-
The same thing with never mind. I won't go there. Look, I'm going to show you something real quick.
Come
All
on,
right.
there's no holding back on
There's no-
Gaslit Podcast, my
Okay,
friend.
same thing with like people who become teachers, right?
Yeah.
I can cut this out later.
He just open up a
okay, okay. Because it's like teachers. It's like you become. There's some people who genuinely want to become teachers, but then there's some people who have nothing fucking better to do in life.
Teaching.
No, right. You want to care. You
love
care about
teaching.
these kids' education, but then there's people who
100%.
just like they just like the 8 to 5.
Absolutely.
Summers on the summers, weekends free. Kind of. They like that school environment because they just don't ever
Yeah.
grow out of it.
And if I was independently but wealthy, that's what I would do. Like as my job, because if money wasn't an issue, I mean, obviously I can't support a family on a teacher's salary. So
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You were a teacher.
yeah, I was a
Yeah,
teacher.
so didn't step on toes.
I was a teacher. No, no, but you're absolutely right. You know, and I think what happens is like, yeah, teachers they talk about like raising teachers' pay and doing this and that, right? Well, not all of them deserve to have their pay raised. How many of these teachers are really all in? How many of them really care about getting these kids to like their maximum potential?
Yeah.
Not many. You know, most of them are there just for the check and for the benefits.
Benefits.
And they want the
Benefits are
pension
crazy,
when they
yeah.
when they're done doing their 25 years or whatever,
Which is crazy.
And then they get tenured. That's like
Which
the
is
craziest
crazier.
thing that I've heard ever.
Yeah.
You can basically, once you're tenured, you short of like, inappropriately touching kids,
Right.
You're
Or
you're
murdering
keeping your
somebody.
job. You're keeping your job.
Yeah.
For like the
Even
rest
if you
of your
murder or
life.
touch the kids, you're just going to be put on desk duty.
Probably.
Yeah, you'll just be pushing
It's very strange how that's a thing. Like, why is that? In what other profession can you be? Oh, well, I'm tenured, so kiss my ass. This just doesn't work like that.
But going back to the politicians, I wanted to show you a quick video because we're talking about how childish people can be.
What in the? Fuck
So
is
Congresswoman
this? Thought
Marie
we
Newman.
put up our transgender flag so she can look at it every time she opens the door.
So we don't care. It's not so much the transgender flag. It's the idea of here's the quote.
Hold on. I thought they had the flag already. I thought the rainbow was their flag.
Remember we talked about this last time, and this was your.
I try not to pay attention.
This was your quote. You know what I did find out? So these flags all mean something apparently. I didn't
What?
know that. So you ever see these flags?
Nope. Don't give a fuck.
These are all different flags, and all the colors represent something.
Fuck them. Next.
So I did not know that.
All right. I got a flag too.
All right. And now you're asking about the flags.
Well,
so
fuck 'em
what
then.
the hell? Okay, but anyways,
Fuck 'em all
so
the way
here's the
then.
thing. So,
So
we're talking about the
stupid.
pettiness, the childness of politicians.
There's only two genders. Prove me wrong.
Our neighbor, Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, tried to block the Equality Act because she believes
Prove me wrong with science.
prohibiting discrimination against trans. We'll get to that right now.
We
Trans
believe in
Americans. I want to get you upset. Trans Americans is disgusting, immoral, and evil. Right? Okay, whatever. Thought we'd put our transgender flag so she can look at it every time she opens her door. Wink, wink. Trans flag. Take that. So
Oh, that's the one who doesn't like it?
yeah, so
And so they put one out right in front of her just to...
yeah, they're infinitely in 5th grade. There's two things that I wanted to tell you about this. Said
Can we go to something else?
but this is important.
Yes.
Okay, so a couple of things. We kind of bounced all over the place here. Amazon,
What's going to be next? Like, they're going to graffiti that trans flag or what?
they're gonna send.
I
notes.
would so draw a
Hateful
penis on
notes.
on that trans flag.
that you would what?
I would just draw a big penis on that trans flag.
Here's the thing. Amazon actually banned a book because you said showed the science, right?
Yeah.
Argue with science. So there's a book called When Harry Became Sally.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
All right. So and it basically
It's a parody on the movie.
yeah. So the idea is that the author found it interesting that how the heck did such a small minority of people become so influential
So
in
quickly.
so quickly, right? So he's asking questions about civil rights. He's asking questions about the science behind transgender
Yeah.
ideology.
Uh-huh.
He's having a conversation, right?
Just having a conversation like normal people should.
Right. I mean, things should be questioned, right? I tell my kid all the time, like,
Yeah.
question
Question
things.
stuff,
Doesn't
of
matter.
course.
If somebody tells you the sky's blue, go out, trust but verify. Go out
Yeah.
there and check, right?
Yeah.
So same. Amazon banned the book.
They banned it?
They banned it. Yep. They blocked. We'll do the Fox News
Can we still get it from
ChristianHeadlines.com.
Barnes and Noble?
That's a good question. Amazon accused of absurd and unacceptable censorship after book questioning transgender movement vanishes.
Wow.
So you still have Mein Kampf. You can buy Mein Kampf on there. You can still buy a book written by Osama bin Laden on there, but you can't get this book.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we're doing virtual book burnings now. It's fun.
Is Orwell like nonfiction now? Is that considered nonfiction?
How long before you think 1984 is banned?
They're gonna be like, they're reading the playbook.
They know.
I don't want to give them
too much.
They know too much. Stop giving this to them in high school.
Okay,
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's the thing that happened.
Dude, that's okay. Look, they censored the president of the United States, the sitting president of the United States, while he was in office. Okay,
Yeah.
from a platform.
Yeah,
Okay, so they deplatform him.
yeah. The dictator.
Then they go after anybody who has any type of view that's against theirs.
Yeah.
Then anytime you discuss anything about the election or that there are irregularities or that there was fraud, which there is verified tons of, thank you, Stephen Crowder,
Irregularities.
for sending your own like employees to these addresses of voters that do not, there's no locations there. So, but it's like, unless conservatives themselves are doing the legwork and bringing the facts, even then, they're still being censored. They're still being deplatformed because it goes against
Right.
what their main agenda is to keep Biden alive long enough so that he can run our country into the ground as swiftly as possible. And we are like literally, I feel like since, I don't know, you're not in the stock market,
How do you know?
but because you told me. But
I own two stocks too, you know.
you don't own stock.
I had all my stock in Johnson and Johnson baby powder. So.
Livestock doesn't count.
Oh shoot.
The chickens in the backyard don't count.
There's Henrietta's doing pretty good, so she's got 3 eggs this weekend. So I was gonna say,
Are you still waiting for the golden
I'm
egg?
still waiting for the golden egg.
Okay.
It's gonna be worth my while. I sold my entire house for that golden egg. Look, here's another thing. So we've got the virtual book burning going on, right? And we talked about CPAC in the beginning a little bit.
Yeah.
Twitter has started flagging links to CPAC's website.
Why?
It's
Because they don't want anybody
here,
on
I'm
it
gonna go
or
ahead.
watching CPAC or going to CPAC.
yeah, they're going to block this man's speech. You know why? Because there are people who believe it's out there, it's in the air, that this is the beginning of Trump's 2024 run.
Really?
Yeah.
So they're going to do everything to try to silence
They're
him.
gonna do everything. So, and it begins today.
So
Here, if you check out this right here, this is what you see when you try to link up to
shut up.
to the from Twitter.
Warning,
If you're
this
on
link
Twitter,
may be unsafe.
yeah,
This is not like some Chinese website, you know? Like, what are you guys doing, man?
right. I mean, say what you will about conservatives. As a self-proclaimed liberal, socialist, communist, this is good for communism and censorship.
This is amazing for communism.
And
They're winning.
censorship.
They're winning, Jim.
Well, it's crazy.
We're
be-
giving our country away to communists, and no one's saying anything.
Well, I
about
think
it.
it's not communist. It's specific.
Oh no,
it's
no,
a specific
no.
thing.
It's
Authoritarian.
This is going straight communism, real quick.
yeah, but I guess
This
this socialist
socialist,
idea
yeah,
is for a party, right?
Yeah,
The
socialist
idea of a party.
values that manifest themselves under an authoritarian regime.
Yeah,
turns
you're
into
behind the party,
communism.
right? The
Yes.
leftist party, the woke
You-
leftist ideology.
When
Why?
they give
Why?
you your ideology,
Why?
Jimmy, when they give you your ideology, when they tell you this is what you should think and feel, when they tell you you shouldn't worship because there is no God, that your leader is your God, and that he's the one that you should be holding to the highest acclaim, right?
Yeah.
Then that's communism, my friend. That is communism. You're not supposed to put pictures of like Jesus in the house. You're supposed to put
Yeah.
pictures of Stalin and Lenin
Yeah,
and the
Shut-
and the people that so they're gonna want
Lenin.
they're gonna want people. No, they're gonna want the fathers of
if I get a picture of Chef Boyardee, would that be the same as Lenin?
no.
They got the same beard, mustache.
I know, but I think Lenin wore it a little bit better.
You think so?
Yeah, because Chef Boyardee's wearing a stupid hat.
That's a sexy hat, man.
I don't know if you're into that.
Yeah, I'm definitely into that. I'm gonna buy myself 2 of those. Anyways, where we're going with this? Yes, communism.
We were talking about communism shutting down Republicans.
Yeah.
So see now, because I'm a liberal too, right? But I've become swung so hard
Oh yeah.
to the. You are a horrible, horrible man.
Tell me about being swung hard. Yeah. Just keep going. Just keep going, please. It's just.
You're gonna edit this out later.
You
on
know,
post.
yeah, I'll edit this out later. It's stupid. Okay, I'm done.
Are we good to continue?
Yeah, we're good to continue.
I've swung hard to the right because shut up, Jimmy.
Okay. Oh, what's in this coffee? Oh God, you swung hard to the right. But what is it? What made you do that? Did you swing hard to the right, or
Because I feel like the right is now become what the liberal was 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
Okay.
I think that's where we're at. I don't think there is like a hardcore conservative rights. Not.
I mean, there is.
No, I don't think so.
There is, but I don't think they're as mainstream
Listen,
and as populous as the whatever the hard left is, right?
I think there needs to be conversations. I think there needs to be both sides.
Yeah,
But there needs to always be conversations.
because there's close-minded people on all sides.
Look, deplatforming
Uh-huh.
doesn't open up lines of communication. Right?
Right.
If you invalidate one full side of the argument by just not hearing it, that doesn't invalidate it.
Yeah.
That just you're not giving a
shoving
second.
people into
yeah,
the dark.
You're shoving people into your agenda, right?
well,
Into where you want them to go, right? You're just like it's like gathering up all the sheep and lining them up and taking them on your path.
Yeah.
When there's somebody else over here who's also trying to herd sheep, and he's saying, "Hey, come my way too." You know, you don't need to all follow that direction. There's a huge pasture here, right?
Right.
For all of us to enjoy from. So, but they don't let us do that, and it's like I think it has to come down like to the states to step up and say we're not going to follow this bullshit. This is not acceptable. Like what DeSantis is doing in Florida, that's how it should be done. Hey, Twitter, you want to silence politicians? You're a platform, okay? So it used to be where if you were one of the major platforms, ABC, NBC, CBS, if you gave 5 minutes to Clinton, you had to give 5 minutes to Bush. You couldn't just run ads for one party and not the other. All of these major networks now, CNN, MSNBC, freaking name your network, just anything
The legacy
besides,
media.
yeah, legacy media, anything besides Fox, it's a one-sided platform for the Democratic Party.
And even Fox is wishy-washy now these days.
And yeah, they toe the line too.
Yeah.
But I think they tried to actually do some sort of journalism.
Try to protect.
They want to protect both sides of the argument.
Yeah.
At least present it so people are cognizant of that. Hey, this person thinks this way, and we think this way. You know, everyone knows what to expect. I know what to expect when I'm watching CNN. I know I'm getting like hippie
half-sided
liberal
story.
crap. Yeah, like this is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know like some broad burning liberal is like sitting in the back of the thing typing up
Well,
on the teleprompter. I don't care. I know I'm getting that. You know, they could pretend like they're journalists, but they're not. They're just giving one-sided, like, this is hate speech. This is this. Transgenders rule. Kiss my ass. You know, you're a fascist. You're a racist. You're a bad person. You shouldn't have guns. You shouldn't have riots. You shouldn't have free speech. Why do you want to destroy all of our children's lives by making them go to school and actually sit in real classrooms?
Yeah.
What? Lady, didn't you go to school? Didn't you get your job by going and getting a formal education in front of a real person who taught you real things and try to make you a better person? No, none of that stuff matters. It's whatever is on the agenda for the week. I feel like they all get kicked out a syllabus of, okay, this is what we're going to cover. Okay?
Yeah.
Literally, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday, you guys can do an editorial of how bad the right is.
You know what's crazy to me that we're 3 months now. It's the 24th now. 3 months into a new presidential administration. I'm a big news guy. We sift through the news. The top stories. What was that? Was not The Intercept. On Forbes, 5 top stories, right? Most viewed stories. 3 of the 5 were all about Trump.
Isn't that amazing?
Right.
And it's
like
3
they're
months after.
so desperate to cling on to that.
Oh, yeah.
They're so desperate. They're just like, well, you know what one of the headlines was? Trump complains that his steak was smaller than the other person that was with him eating. That was the headline. It's like, what are we doing here? What are we doing?
Orange man bad.
There are the facilities, you know.
Rusty Joe good.
Remember those kids in cages?
I'm gonna like just change his name to Rusty Joe because he is just like, I feel like his brain has already gone to like shit.
Do you remember those kids in cages? Those facilities? They built
The ones that Barack Obama built.
Yeah, they built
those.
the overflow ones, right? And now those are overflowing.
They overflowed the overflow facility.
That's correct. Yeah.
Why don't they send him to AOC's house?
Well,
Since
here's
she's
the thing.
so she's just crying every time she thinks about them when she looks in an empty
Well,
parking
she
lot.
changed her tone.
Why don't we send those kids to her district and maybe she can build them like, I don't know,
Did I
dog
see it on my
houses?
phone? Let me She's also changed her tone. She
Freak,
says instead of
Dumb
so she was
broad.
talking about that there were concentration camps. Now it's just unacceptable. Like, wait, what?
Wait a minute.
We talked about politicians.
Weren't you crying and screaming at an empty parking lot?
Yeah,
pretending you saw those kids over there?
Yeah, but now it's just
But
unacceptable.
now it's not.
Yeah, it's a shame, man. Oh, by the way, we should get rid of the Department of Homeland Security. It's like, wait, hold on. You were talking about, like, we called them kids in cages. We called them concentration camps. We compared them to Nazis.
So hold on, we're gonna turn into Venezuela pretty soon. Like, 'cause
I don't know. Like, here's the thing. Some time ago, also, Joe
you're
Biden
gonna
made a
lose your
statement.
job, my friend.
Joe Biden made a statement
I get
about.
some smart Venezuelan dudes up in here.
Good for them, man. Good for them. If they're working people, I have absolutely no problem with immigration. None.
Lord loves a working man.
Yeah, exactly. I'll never, ever say that.
What does he say in Jerk before he leaves the house? He goes, "Don't forget, Nathan, Lord loves a working man. Don't trust Whitey, and find your special purpose."
That's some rules to live by.
Yeah, it is.
Where was I going with this?
Is anybody whiter than Joe Biden?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. You think so?
yeah,
No.
I think so.
No.
If I could think of somebody.
Did you see him drop the N bomb?
Well, you know what? I want to check something. Hold on.
Can you just check? Just check that video with
Yeah.
captioning on YouTube and see?
Joe Biden.
And why did YouTube actually write out the whole word? They couldn't have like put like a little asterisk or something, or
Oh,
a little
you can't
question
find it on
mark or
YouTube.
whatever? Oh, they took it down.
No, is he?
Ah, fantastic. It's okay.
No, wait. Here, hold on. I got something for you.
What is this on? Is this Twitter?
This is on Twitter.
We're on Twitter.
Where is it at?
We can
Oh,
start
here it
calling
is.
Twitter.
I'm gonna have to block this. I'm just gonna show you just because. Oh, you can't. Oh, we didn't set up the sound today, but that's fine.
Play
You
it.
should just be able to hear. You ready?
We already have a nigger mayor. We don't need any more nigger big shots. We already have a nigger mayor. We don't need any more nigger big shots.
Is that Joe Biden?
This is an important conversation to have. Okay, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you.
Is that
I'll
Joe
tell you-
Biden?
Okay, so this is actually a good conversation to have. Let me tell you something. Okay,
Is that Joe
Yes,
Biden?
yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
We already have a nigger mayor. We don't need any more nigger big shots.
Here's the thing: the New York Times. There was a big story that came out of the New York Times because there was this writer who was asked whether it's appropriate to say the N word, right? And then he asked, "Well, what do you mean? Do you mean N with the hard R or N with the A?" Right? But he said the words. They fired him from the New York Times because it said
Just
he
for
says-
saying it?
Right. And then there's another guy from a podcast who said that it's important, the context that matters, right? Like if you're having a conversation,
course.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's what matters.
Yeah.
He got fired
Or if you're
just
singing
for
a
saying
Tupac
that.
song. You know,
But
like,
he got fired just for even bringing up the conversation about that, right? That's the standard that we have. If you say it, even in he's saying something in context, obviously, right? We'll give this man the benefit of the doubt.
let's just
We
play
already
it.
have a nigger mayor. We don't need any more nigger big shots.
He's reading something in context, which is we're reasonable people. We understand that, right? It's
He
fair.
reading something he wrote, or is he?
It looks like a quote.
Is that his quote? Hold on. President Biden mistakenly thought.
Oh, my bad,
hold on,
sorry.
Keep going. Mistakenly thought he was playing Mario Kart with grandchildren. Was actually done. What does it say? Was actually drone striking daycare in Yemen.
But here it is. Here it is. Here's that.
Let's
That
see.
is-
I'm eager to hear. Eager to hear next.
Just a little word whisker.
do I have to bleep out the word? I'm gonna have
No,
to.
you don't have to bleep out shit.
No, I know, but it's because if it's gonna go on YouTube and
I
Facebook-
don't give a fuck.
But that's the thing. People are being canceled.
We're not the
because-
ones saying it.
Right? No, but
Your
it's
fucking
it's the
racist president that you idiots voted for is saying it.
But the that's the rule
Did
that
you see
they've
the
set.
new flag I got?
Oh, did you buy it really?
I have one.
Oh, you do.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have.
I don't
We're kind of running out. Of
You know what?
space
We
here.
should put that up over there. I don't know if it would be appropriate to put it on the back of the. You want to lose our 12 followers that we have? Then we could probably
One
put
of which
that
is
up.
my mom, so she's not a follower. I'm joking. Remember the podcast motto is.
I told you, don't tell your.
Don't tell your mom. Tell
your dad.
Yeah.
There you go. That's the motto.
Oh boy. There it is. Yeah. Hold on. Do you mind if I go use the restroom real quick?
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
can cut this out. You wanna?
We
I'll cut this out later.
we should have a thing.
What?
Oh, I should go bring the flag. I'm gonna go bring the flag.